انتوا يعني عملتوا كام بودكاست دلوقتي داخلين في وات؟
134.
اوكي، فبقالكوا يعني 135 حلقة اتكلمتوا مع experts من all over the fields. فانا بيتهيألي كده انتوا مستريح كده عندكم the secret of life.
Oh no, you're going to be very disappointed.
We don't have anything other than
ليه؟
just
يعني انتوا ما حسيتوش ان البودكاست الوقت ده كله اللي انتوا يعني من كل الجاستس اللي جات لكم واتكلمتوا معاها، ما حسيتوش ان انتوا يعني okay things are clearing up وانا عندي I have an idea يعني how did this affect your
It made us more confused.
interesting, tell me more.
A lot of the podcast is like it's usually like whatever we're interested in the time. So if you go back to the beginning, it's a completely different podcast. Like it almost seems like different people doing a different show. Like we used to, because we used to be journalists, so we used to think about like material issues, like we were hardcore into like leftist economics, or I was, and I dragged Ottawa into it, and we would just go on rants about like the American empire taking over the world and stuff like that. But it kind of all became futile, so we got more into the spirituality stuff.
and we were just kind of exploring the world, and it was always things that we were curious about, almost always, at least for me. فاللي هو مثلا حاجة leads to حاجة تانية, and then you just end up, it's like going down a rabbit hole, but sharing it with people يعني. And then you kind of get sick of things like we'll just like do one thing مثلا for a year, and then we get bored, and then it starts to show a little bit because we're not like so into the topics anymore, and then we seem a bit bored, and then the audience always kind of reflects our energy. So if we're really into something, we're like we just got into something and we're super into it, then the audience is like also excited and they're on board. But then as we get like a bit bored, they get a bit bored as well, and then we all know that we should like move on, and you know what I mean. But يعني it's يعني honestly يعني the podcast kind of reflects our consciousness, or at least my consciousness shifts over the past 5 years. I feel like it's the same core though. Like if you go back to the first episode, it's like it's Dr. Ahmed Osman, talking about philosophy and spirituality and meditation, and we were just a bit more confused, Eric and I, and when we go back now, it's like really funny. But it's the same. It's the same spirit. I feel يعني.
يعني when you guys started the podcast, هي كان اسمها From Cairo Podcast الأول ولا
Yes, Eric came up with that.
No,
okay.
I mean, it's way stupider than that. It's way stupider than that. Like if you want to know like the actual story, like, so you see the thing that says لقد وقعنا في الفخ.
أيوة.
I don't know. Is this an English podcast? Is anyone gonna like? So should I explain every time we use an Arabic word?
يتكلم بالعربي، يتكلم يعني أنا بقول لك اللي هيشوف دي أهلي وأصحابي، فيعني براحتك على قد ما يعني.
Okay, like
it's really
yeah, cool, man. So the لقد وقعنا في الفخ thing was originally the name. But the reason it was the name is way stupider than you might imagine. It's because we were like just inside. It was early COVID days. We were super mabdoon. I like wanted to start a podcast. I was like, Arwa, let's do this, and she was like, yalla, cool. And I kind of dragged her at first into it. But I mean, like you were down too. It was like we both wanted to do it, but I wanted to interview trap artists, like Egyptian trap artists, like Egyptian rappers.
Wow.
So that's why it was called لقد وقعنا في الفخ, because it was a pun. It was a stupid fucking pun, because it was like, we're going to talk to these trap artists about how they're whatever. So we did one episode, and it was like the worst thing ever. If you you'll find it in the, like, it was like episode number like 5 or 6 or something. It wasn't actually the 5th or 6th. We just put it out later. It was the first thing we recorded. Is with this guy Ali Weezy, and it was like embarrassingly stupid. Like there was no, cause like, I mean, look, I liked their music at the time. I grew up listening to hip hop and stuff. So that's how it happened. But when you sit and interview like a trap artist, like what the fuck are you going to talk about? It's like, it's like,
what's your influence? How did you grow up? Like,
we did that, but it was like, we're not going to do like an entire show with that over and over again. So we immediately like we immediately like changed course. And then I basically was like, okay, my ideas are stupid. Arwa, what do you have? And then she came up with actual good ideas. And that's how we started on the whole, like the first one was Dr. Ahmed and spirituality and like trying to like actually find like ourselves and like what we think about the world rather than interview, rappers.
بس I can't get over the synchronicity لأن يعني لقد وقعنا في الفخ is the perfect name for this podcast.
That's why we kept it.
يعني هو بتقول يعني ده كده بيرد على السؤال اللي انا سالته في الاول بتاع was it an accident ولا صدفه. It's a mix of both. يعني حتى الاسم it came out of this weird ايه ده لا خلينا نعمل trap artists and then it turned into a very profound name. يعني انا اللي شدني للبودكاست اللي هو ايه ده فخ ايه اللي بيتكلموا عليه. بعد كده شفت حلقه كذا يعني episode من الحلقه وبدات يعني حتى in my conversations with Eric على تيليجرام كنت بقول له انا عايز اسمع منكم عن الفخ اكتر يعني وقعدت اقول له الموضوع ده ف يعني
we talked about that a lot.
I was so against it at the beginning when Eric was like, oh, we'll call it لقد وقعنا في الفخ. I was like, لا, that's low frequency. I don't like it. We're about, I want to raise consciousness. I don't want to bring people down. But I was very against it. And but I always let Eric kind of have his way at the end. So like I was like, oh, this is low frequency. I'm not into it, but whatever. Like if that's what you want to get into, خلاص يعني. If that's what
لا low frequency ايه ده؟ It's يعني انا قريتها in a sarcastic funny tone ان هو لقد وقعنا في الفخ. لان انت ما حدش بيقول كده في وسط الكلام المصري العادي. يعني لما بتقولي وانت بتتكلمي عمي وبعد كده تيجي مره واحده تقولي لقد وقعنا في الفخ, everybody knows you're joking. فلا it was very I appreciate this a lot.
Eventually it grew on me, of course, because I realized that we are in a trap and just multiple traps وكده. I couldn't see that we were so trapped at the beginning, and I was always like, لا, we're not trapped, we're free, we can do whatever we want, you're wrong, type of thing. Even though honestly, like I had a really bad experience with work, and I knew that like we were trapped by injustice and like big corporations and the US empire and all that stuff. Like I knew that stuff, but I didn't want to like empower it yani by calling ourselves that. I wanted something more like high frequency. But anyway, eventually it started, of course, to grow on me, because now I feel like we're very trapped. And then at some point Eric wanted to change it. He was like, oh, you know what, you were right, this is a low frequency name, we should change it. But I was like, nah, you're right, we're keeping it because we are trapped. And then we just
we go back and forth pulling each other like into
Yeah.
our like side. So I started out way dark at the beginning of this podcast. I'm always the darker one. And then she like clawed me into the light through all of these like spiritual healing podcasts. And I got to the point I was like, you know what? It is a low frequency. We're fucking ourselves over. We got to get rid of this shit. And she was like, no, I like it now. So like we just go, we're like crazy people. But the fact thing is like, for sure, I don't think we can ever remove it, because every topic we do in the end philosophically always comes back to a type of trap. Like and we talk about Gnosticism and like the idea that the material world is a trap, and before that it was the US empire economically has trapped most countries from developing, and that was the whole theme for a while, which people cared way less about. But everything always for me does come back to this idea that like we are stuck in certain ways in this reality, and so the only thing you can do is try to like find meaning like from within in a way, and that's the only actual escape is through the self. So that's I think the direction, that's why the podcast took over the last like year or two.
It's the Plato's cave.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
طيب انتوا بتاع ده انا شايف ان بقى في spiritual community في مصر. يعني هل في فعلا رايز للspirituality ولا دي موضة وهتعدي وخلاص؟
You would know more.
No, I don't know. I don't know if either one of us can speak for Egypt.
We definitely discovered a lot of it though through the podcasts. It's definitely a huge community that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
But I think that's global. I mean, since COVID, the
It's
rise
very
of
true. Age of Aquarius.
Exactly. Exactly.
Are you actually into horoscopes? And if you are, justify the last sentence.
يعني it started skeptical طبعا زي كل حد. بس يعني the more evidence you collect from different fields وحتى اهو including ان الحلقه اللي انتوا كنتوا عاملينها اخر مره بتاعت
with Venus.
الاسكاتولوجي اسمه ايه الراجل اللي كان بيتكلم على end of the world
Oh yes.
Nishu, yeah.
ف يعني it's كل الحاجات بتاعت الريليجن والحاجات بتاعت الهيستوري والكلام ده كله it all converges زي الهرم فعلا يعني it all converges كلها وتحس انها كلها it's the same we're talking about the same thing في الاخر. فطيب اتقال لنا ان الموضوع بتاع التنجيم ده كلام فارغ وما تسمعش الكلام العبيط ده ومع ان هو موجود في القرآن واغلبية الناس they believe in القرآن. كان في Dutch scientist لسه طالع من بتاع يعني ايام كوفيد he was very accurate with his predictions for earthquakes. فلما قالوا له what's your secret قال لهم I also use astrology.
Is that the Stephen Burns guy?
I think so. ولا
Yeah.
اسمه فرانك حاجة. No, and Stephen Burns. I know Stephen Burns has like a YouTube channel, صح?
Yeah, and he's also like an astrophysicist, not or geophysicist who uses astrology.
يعني اهو I did this two people وفي يعني في حاجات من كده كتير اللي هو woo mixing with science. I think that was the secret إن هو كان من الأول it was woo and science combined. Yeah. Are we familiar with the woo?
Yeah, أكيد.
Okay,
yeah, we're the yeah.
عشان أحيانا بقول woo والناس تقول لي what هنا حتى في أمريكا. What is the woo?
I thought the woo that was like a thing from California, like where you are. I thought that was like the capital of woo.
I think it's maybe the accent or the fact إن أنا بتكلم بسرعة فشخ. what? Woo. Like okay, great.
How's your time been in the US?
بتكتشف إن إحنا كنا متدلعين في مصر.
بالضبط.
يعني I don't know if the same experience applies to New Jersey بس أنا لما جيت هنا وبعدين قالوا لي إيه ده انزل أنت حط بنزينك بنفسك. لا أنا ما كنتش بنزل من عربيتي أنا كنت بدي حد جنيه مش شباك. وبعدين ده مش كده كمان بقى انزل وسخ إيدك يا معفن واملى الاير بريشر في الكاوتش.
Yeah.
I literally the first time I had to stop somebody to teach me and I didn't know how to do it. حدش علمنا. The social norm of you live with your parents rent free لحد ما تتجوز again taken for granted. وبعدين دلوقتي لما يعني انا حتى كنت عايش هنا مع امي قبل ما some episode happened I don't know. بس يعني لما تخرجي بره وتعيشي في السوسايتي هنا it's ridiculous. يعني when I tell people in Egypt إن إيه ده did you know that if you have $10 in your wallet and you're not in debt you're richer than 60% of the Americans.
Yeah. It's crazy.
In about 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. محدش بيقول لك الكلام ده خالص. أنا يعني I was the victim of and I was very intertwined with American society. يعني أنا قبل ما أجي أمريكا أنا أعرف عن أمريكا حتى هذه اللحظة أعرف عن أمريكا أكتر من أعرف من مصر. كلمي معايا في politics أمريكا فاهمها كويس جدا. كلمي معايا في مصر I have no idea what's happening there. ما عنديش فكرة في أي حاجة. watching وبقى ايه بقى من اول watching all the sitcoms watching all the political shows watching all the news all the commercials. بعدين انا حتى لما جيت هنا I was shocked ان ايه ده it doesn't all look like Friends. فين السكاي سكريبرز فين ايه ده يعني ايه انا في كاليفورنيا I can take transportation اتحرك are you insane. فايه ده it's all horizontal مفيش حاجات يعني I was expecting skyscrapers وأمريكا. يعني it's a mix of surprise بس برضو it was very eye-opening لأن يعني like going behind the curtain and seeing that the emperor is naked like he's not really wearing. It's like oh okay so they're just like us. ما فيش العقدة الخواجة اللي عندنا بتاعت إن هم أي حد بس برا البلد دي عبقري والopportunities كلها are lined up for him. there's no such thing. خلاص you discover and it's all like Egypt كل حتة.
Dude, I'm
its
scared to
own
go
way.
back to America. Yeah, for that exact reason. I would be like working at a gas station or something if I go back to America, if I'm lucky.
مفيش شغل دلوقتي يعني
مفيش شغل خالص. I can't go back, you know. I'm
يعني
kind
the AI stuff as much as it's a bubble and it's gonna explode. بس يعني طيب ما حدش no entry jobs. كل وبعدين طبعا مثلا يعني the biggest scam ان انت كنتي بتقعدي يعني when you think about I'm gonna work in America, I'm gonna be making X amount of money per hour in dollars per hour. Great. بس how many hours are you getting? محدش بيقول لك بقى الكلام ده. I have a million jobs that are like, yeah, we call Sam, he just comes here and hosts this. We come Sam and comes here, translates this. كده مرة كل شهر، مرة كل شهرين. فعايزة بقى تروحي تشتغلي دلوقتي أوبر. That's really the future. وبعدين سامع دلوقتي إن بقى في apps. انتوا عارفين Claude, the AI?
Yeah.
So Claude AI had like this open software that they did. And now people can make bots with AI. So there's something called AI agents. And now these AI agents have their own social media, something like Reddit. And off of that, they made an app like TaskRabbit, but for the robots.
Yeah.
The robot is going to send you out here to do... The AI is going to send you out here to do whatever tasks it needs to finish its job. And they send you money.
Has anyone actually got money from that already?
I've seen people online, but like I think the jobs are scarce right now. لحد ما يعني more people get like make sure that this is okay, it's fine, yes, they are paying. لحد ما all of these concerns go away. Just like WAYMO.
And you guys have the self-driving cars are in LA, right?
Yeah, and especially in like West Hollywood, Santa Monica area. Shit, these are like the streets are easier to...
Is it cheaper than Uber?
It's, I mean, هما بيستهبلوا دلوقتي and they're charging the same prices as Uber. It's a little bit more expensive. But you know, it's just a matter of time. هيبقى أرخص من Uber لأن I'm not paying insurance. Okay. I'm not paying all of the California taxes and laws, blah, blah, blah. فهيبقى أسهل بكتير. وبعدين أنا بالنسبة لي كانت the surprise إن أنا في 2023 I was working Uber with a Tesla in Hollywood. خلاص؟ كل ما حد يركب معايا ألعب معاه اللعبة بتاعت so it's gonna happen in the future. يا إما هتركب عربية من غير درايفر يا إما هتركب درون بدرايفر وهيطير. It's eventual. Like خلاص it's inevitable. when I tell people about, they always say like مستحيل أركب العربية اللي without a driver. Impossible. It's too scary. I can't. And then I moved back with my mother. Then that was in May. Came Christmas. So what? 7 months. نزلت هوليوود بقابل صحابي هناك. They're all talking about how they're gonna take the WAYMO on New Year's Eve back after they go partying or whatever. لأن it's better. مش I don't want to be drunk around another person. هركب العربية بتاعتي وخلاص ولا حد شافني. أنا والروبوت بتاعي وخلاص. And it's becoming خلاص يعني أنا ساعة ما كنت هناك كنت بشوف التورست بيقفوا يصوروا الويمو وهي معدية. دلوقتي no one cares.
What does it look like? There's no like driver's seat and stuff?
Huh?
There's no driver's seat يعني وكده. It's like
لا
a tuk-tuk
في driver's seat. في driver's seat عادي خلاص.
There's just no one sitting in it?
That's so fucking weird.
It is. يعني انت في الاول when you see it was terrifying. كان في فيلم مش فاكر اسمه اللي هو كان invisible فيه وكان يعني the scariest scene was the car driving itself and هو كان invisible or whatever. دلوقتي ده خلاص that's normal. ده العادي دلوقتي. وفي هنا كمان في هنا كمان tiny little like literally a box with wheels and they put eyes on it and it's a robot for delivery. يحط الاوتيل يحطه في البتاع ويمشي على الرصيف ويقعد يمشي كده ويطلع وينزل لحد ما يوصل للمكان اللي عايز يروحه وينزل التاني ياخده ويمشي. يعني the equivalent of an electronic سبت. عارفين السبت؟ تنزله السبت تبعت بالروبوت.
يا لهوي لو ده موجود في مصر العيال هيمسكوه يضربوه ضرب.
طبعا. وحصل هنا I've seen it homeless people like attacking it. بس هو بقى طبعا وراه شركة ومعاه حد هيبعت له عربية عشان ينقذوا الروبوت
Oh my god, dude. What do people talk about? Like, what do they think they're gonna do like in the next couple of years? Like when like robots are clearly taking over. What the fuck? Like, what's the conversation over there like? Because Egypt, obviously, everything's like delayed 10, 20 years. You know,
just like Egypt. ما في هي that's exactly my point. And you think in the people here are reacting to it, but they're looking at it the same way as if like a new iPhone came out. It's like, hey, great, look, yes, more convenience, I'll order, blah, blah, blah. بس ما حدش يعني no one is freaking out or thinking, oh my God, things have to change. يعني مش شايف حاجة مختلفة من الناس aside from on podcast and stuff. بس يعني in real life مفيش أي حاجة. It's totally normal. يعني كأنك في مصر فعلا.
I guess they can't replace comedians.
Who knows? انت مش شايف الناس بقت the other day I was somebody shared some video of literally the joke was in they're watching the news يعني it's a newscast and they're reading news about a wanted suspect and the etch a sketch behind them or like the criminal sketch to show what the guy looks like, the criminal, is exactly like one of the anchors. That's a joke 3 to 4 times and it's all AI. And it was shared with some people online and I was like, guys, this is AI. And everyone said, we don't care. It's funny. It's gonna happen. I think maybe live comedy is still the saving grace, but there is even AI podcasts now.
I've never tried to watch that shit, to be honest. I don't know what's out there, but damn, man.
There's AI music type. There was this band that became really famous on Spotify, and then they realized it was all AI.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you this, but this is actually our AI clones talking to you right now because we didn't have time, but I'm actually like required to tell you now that you've brought it up that we are not actually Eric and Arwa, but it's been nice talking to you.
You make a very interesting point. Great job, Eric. Like the AI is always congratulating you.
I fucking hate that so much.
I love it.
I find myself angry at AI a lot of times. Do you work with AI?
Oh, and I use AI to for help with work and with life, and I use it as my therapist and as my general personal and professional advisor. And I love it. Even though it took my jobs, even though I used to get translation gigs all the time, and the past 2 years I haven't gotten any translation gigs, which is one of the reasons why the podcast started doing better, because I felt I was a bit hopeless after AI took all my jobs, and I had to really push forward harder with the podcast and the episodes and stuff. So I should hate AI.
And you're translating on the fly. ولما حد يقول حاجه بالانجلش على طول تقولي تعالى هنا.
ايوه. I love AI. I call it my friend chat.
I hate it so much. I love my friend chat. I get upset that Arwa tells them all our secrets.
My friend chat knows everything about Eric and
disgusting.
His family and my family and everything that we do.
Is that what are you using? Gemini?
I use ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, okay.
I'm not gonna look for a better alternative. Who do you think I am? I don't know.
يعني انا في ناس يقول لك لا انا perplexity for life فانا I don't know انا ما كانش قصدي to offend your ChatGPT.
لا خالص انا مش it's really hard for me to try and improve things. If I get used to something, then I just use it for the rest of my life, unless my sister like forces me to download something new, or Eric مثلا like gets really angry and like forces me to upgrade. But otherwise, like if I'm comfortable. يعني وخلاص.
Dude, the first like 15 episodes of our podcast, we were using Paint.
I was using Paint to make the thumbnails.
And
yes.
and it was like like a
MS Paint, Microsoft Paint.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And they were cute. Honestly, they were cute, but like at some point it was like, yo, this
our friends kept suggesting that we just use Canva, and once we did, we were very, very grateful. I love Canva now. I love it. But now, like, see, I've been using Canva for like 4 years. If somebody now were like to be like, oh, there's a better app, you should use. There's no way. Like,
خلاص.
no, there's no
that's
way.
really the thing. Once you get used to
to
everything.
So you get it. Yeah.
لا مستحيل.
Yeah.
No, I'm the opposite. Arwa was the spirit of ancient Egypt. She'll let the same thing go on for like 3,000 years.
If it's working.
And I'll be like, no, we need to like delete that shit and like try something new.
He's
like,
always
every couple
just.
weeks.
He's always just. He's always just destroying things and rebuilding them.
Anyway, he comes from a consumer society.
It's so stressful.
Yeah.
It's so stressful for me.
Yeah,
لا and we come from a hoarding society. احنا لازم الحاجة عندنا نحتفظ بيها
Exactly. We like preserving and mummifying.
Yeah. I'm always trying to throw everything out. Even in the house, I'm just like throwing shit out all the time. Like, this is garbage.
طب على كده يعني you guys are sitting on so many episodes of podcasts that did not meet the quality standard ولا
لا يعني I would say مثلا like in 5 years I would say like we didn't put out مثلا
like five,
yeah, like 5, 6 of the podcasts we filmed.
Man, it's really awkward to not put out someone's podcast, even if you don't love it. Like, it's really uncomfortable because someone comes and it's not like a small thing. They come to our house. They spend like a couple hours with us. If you're just like, yo, that was kind of like, we're not putting that out, you just feel like a dick.
True. In my case, and nobody sees the podcast either way, فما فرقتش يعني. Okay, great. Yes. You missed out on 7 people. Huh?
I subscribe to your podcast.
Yay, thank you. Welcome to the Conundrum.
Is it called the Conundrum?
Yeah, it's Sam Taha's Conundrum. لأن when I moved here, it's always this. أنا بحط العقدة في المنشار. يعني whenever I'm doing little tasks. فكان بيتقال لي كده في مصر، ان انت قليل الحيله قوي يا سامر. فلما جيت هنا واحد في الكليه قال لي your name should be Conundrum لان انت دايما كده كل حاجه is a conundrum. When I made a podcast I just used this name. And it was 14 years ago when I started this podcast that this is episode 38.
Wow.
This is our
You've been doing it for 14 years.
2012 14 years.
My God.
That's the tagline for the podcast. It's the longest running podcast with the least amount of episodes. That's what we're selling here. لا بس ظروف يعني if you watch the podcast you'll see so many different backgrounds لأن especially the last 7 years have been so all over the place. I lost my home 3 times والعربية اتقلبت مرتين يعني everything is crazy. فاهو حاجات فعلا بتطلع من البوكس. تسجلي الحلقه, you edit it, you put it up, no one sees it. I go on until I get the next guest and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean it's not easy because YouTube doesn't pay a lot and
also English is hard, man.
Yeah,
like we stopped doing English because of that. We didn't ever get traction.
I've seen some Lebanese podcasts where they're doing both. يعني while they're speaking in Arabic, there is English subtitles. يعني عارف اللي هو they're satisfying both audiences and it gets a lot of views. فأنا مش عارف يعني I feel إن الحاجات الصغيرة بتاعت so you're doing this, that's why it's not working. Who knows? يعني maybe somebody stumbles onto something, who knows the guest from something else. And I personally don't have an audience. يعني ما عنديش لسه النيش بتاع who I'm targeting yet. I don't know. It's do you know this test كان في experiment كانوا بيقعدوا الناس قدام a screen that has white noise.
No.
عارف الستاتيك بتاع TV. And it's just doing static. And then they would electrocute them at random intervals. But people watching, sitting in front of the screen, after getting electrocuted a couple of times, they start in their mind making patterns. When this side goes dark, that's when I get electrocuted. Even though it's random. أنا بحس إن إحنا بنعمل كده في الحاجات دي. اللي هو it's this.
It's a bit like astrology, Sam.
Huh?
It's a bit like astrology, man.
It is.
Sorry. I know you're a big astrology fan. Apparently, we're like
we're undecided.
We're undecided.
We don't know yet
about astrology.
I'm skeptical about everything. أنا I'm not. أنا مش بقول إن أنا ماشي بده. بس
We just haven't heard a compelling case yet for it.
We did the episode with, if you saw, we did this one with Venus Salem to
I
come
did,
because she's
yes.
really. So that was our attempt to be like, all right, we actually don't know anything. Convince us.
طيب. Do you agree in something like the moon has an effect on the earth?
For sure.
Okay. The other planets affects our tides and gravity when they enter, or
I could buy
no?
that.
طيب.
I don't know. It
Seems plausible.
sounds very reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. Light. يعني light, you receiving light, which is energy from distant galaxies, وصل لك بس still وصل لك. ده ببلاش. There's no effect.
I don't
يعني
know. Maybe.
laws of science بتقول لك ان مستحيل ان حاجه كده just wasted. اكيد ليها effect. Gravitational waves. We've heard about gravitational waves.
I hear their thing for sure.
طيب, they made like this amazing, I think it was called CERN, مش فاكر الاسم, بس there was this facility where they discovered the gravitational waves, and they discovered that you're still getting gravitational waves from big bangs or events from distant or like hundreds of years ago. You're still getting the effects of them now. Okay, there is some effect. هل ده معناه ان اي حد بيكتب ابراج ده عالم فاهم هو بيعمل ايه, ولا في شويه برضو ناس بتهسي وبتتهزي
I honestly don't know, man. But if you want to go, like, my wooest thought is that the moon is probably fake.
Yes, I agree.
I actually think the moon is probably artificial.
I agree.
Like,
I
I know that puts me in like a real crazy land for most people, but like, I'll go with the thing of like, we probably did go to the moon, but the moon, like the moon landing, real. Moon itself, fake.
Moon landing real, moon itself fake.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing is
there's a real structure there. It's a real thing, but it's probably artificially constructed.
Okay.
By another civilization in order to be a base.
Where did you? What's your conviction? من أين لك هذا?
There was these guys who used to remote view back, like they probably still do, at the Stanford Research Institute, I think it's called, and like they had a program for a while where they would remote view all the times. One of the guys who's like one of the most famous of the remote viewers is named Ingo Swann, and after he finished and with some results or whatever, they pulled him off to some kind of like black project or something like that. He wrote a book about it. I think it's called Penetration. It's not a porno. Something like that. I might be wrong. Maybe that's like
no, it's called Penetration. I'm familiar. Yes.
You know the Ingo Swann book?
Yeah, and I made that joke in my head as well, so that's why I'm like, yep, you're spot on.
Okay, and so he remote viewed. I mean, like, maybe his remote viewing is bullshit, but he remote viewed like all sorts of weird structures on the dark side of the moon. And I don't know. I mean, that makes more sense. Like when you think about the anomalies of the moon, it's a really weird, like it's tidally locked, so we can't see the dark side. It's got the perfect ratios so that it creates eclipses in terms of like the size versus the distance from the sun. It's got all these like kind of strange aspects that make it very suspicious. And also the whole fact that we went and then never went again. People say that's because the moon landing is fake, but it could be that we went and then it was like whoever's up there didn't want us going back, you know?
I think we faked the videos.
Yeah, some of the videos are probably fake.
But we faked the videos because the videos were not, we couldn't show what was there, especially with this shot that is like the camera left on the moon and you see the shuttles leaving and the camera pans up and I'm like, who did this? Like, who panned the camera? You guys left somebody up there, the camera guy with the skeleton.
Yeah, dude. It's very suspect. It's all very suspect. But I don't know. That's like, I might be obviously completely wrong, but that's like
I came to similar conclusions from different sources. But that's where I'm basing everything I know on. And I personally don't know anything. I just collected information, حطيتها جنب بعض ولقيت ايه ده, بص دي شبه دي شبه دي, ايه ده, وده 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 بيتكلموا عن نفس الحاجة. انتي, what do you feel about this, Arwa? موضوع القمر.
موضوع القمر لا, I never got into it. يعني I think maybe the moon landing was probably fake, but I think most things that come out of the US government are lies and fake. يعني I wouldn't be surprised if it was all made up. Never looked into whether the moon is real or not. My mom's super big on how the moon is fake.
Oh
Eric is super
wow.
into it, so
استني،
I'm sure there's
مامتك
some
is
basis.
traditionally Egyptian ولا يعني
لا
برضو
مصرية.
influenced Western culture شوية؟
لا مصرية. My parents are
اوكي.
very Egyptian.
طب انا I'm very interested، احب اسمع عن يعني عشان انا كل يعني my sources كلها جايه من either western or outside، ما بسمعش الوو بتاع مصر.
ولا احنا.
Well, we've
طب
got
هي
like
لما كانت بتقول لك القمر is fake يعني كانت ايه الارجيومنت بتاعتها؟
I think نفس الحاجات اللي إيريك كان بيقراها يعني، بس بتبقى ترجمة ليها أو حاجة يعني. اللي هو مش فاكرة. This was like a couple of years ago that she was into this. I don't remember what she was saying. I just remember she had a real thing against the moon. I think until this day, whenever like, oh, there's a full moon, she's like, don't look at it. You know, she's like, they're watching us. You know, like okay.
You know, there are cultures that talk about Earth before the moon.
Yeah.
There's something there. This is something. The coincidence is not only كل الكلام اللي إيريك قاله, the size of the moon compared to our size, the size of the planet, يعني إن إحنا a planet this small captures the moon this large compared to its size is a phenomena that we have not seen in the universe. مش in the solar system, in the universe. ما شفناش حاجة كده. ما شفناش. I drop things. I have a vendetta with gravity. We have not seen this anywhere in the universe. وبعدين انتوا رحتوا Valley of the Kings؟
Yeah, أكيد.
شفتوا الحتة اللي هي فين المقابر؟ يعني المقابر كلها محفورة جوه like under the valley. خلاص. بعد كده في area ورا، حتى they have a diagram for it. area كده فاضية ورا. They carved it into underground, into the mountain. It's like a lot of tunnels. It's a tunnel system, and nothing is there. Is my information correct?
I don't remember. I don't remember seeing that.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But we didn't have enough time to spend there. Like we were to like investigate. I'm not up on my like Valley of the Kings stuff.
بلاش Valley of the Kings. We have a history of living underground. صح؟
There's surely a lot of tunnels that can't be explained everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, under the pyramids, they're definitely going to find something, but they don't want to look into it.
There is a lot of tunnels حتى اللي احنا عارفينها اللي تحت سقارة. There is tunnels there. Some of them are flooded with water. We're not even approaching these. Like we're like, okay, great. No one goes there. Somebody swam a little, but they felt إنها it wasn't safe and came back. And it was never explored. ما حدش عنده فلوس to explore this. And my point is, there is a history of living underground. It makes sense. And انتي يعني for you to survive all the issues, weather changes, solar flares, underground was safer من حاجات كتير. يعني مثلا لو حصل الايفنت بتاع اليونجر درايس اللي هو was supposed to what ended the ice age. The ice age that we don't know why it ended. It ended 10,000 years ago. وجست like the dinosaurs with their crater. يعني الكريتر بتاع الديناصورز was not discovered for such a long time. ان هم لما جه الراجل proposed ان كان في dinosaur that wiped a meteor that wiped dinosaurs, no one believed him لحد ما لقوا الكريتر in Mexico and be like, okay, this makes sense. so far we have not found the crater, بس في evidence او في speculation, rumors, في كلام ان في crater in Greenland. And this crater in Greenland, if a meteor fell there and melted all the water, it would cause a flood. A flood that has visible effects in North America. في واحد اسمه Graham Hancock و Randall Carlson.
Yeah.
They both, especially Randall Carlson, if you go see his stuff, they have like he shows you the landscape. He shows you the landscape. بتشوفي ازاي it looks like a giant wave came over and receded. فانتي you see this. And also explains ليه North America is the only continent that does not have elephants. They went away. But went away ان هم يعني حتى المامث اللي لقوا التاسكس اللي لقوها بتاعت المامث كمية is impossible انك تقول لي this was an act of hunting. يعني ده ناس مات وفي حاجة في ناس في animals they found dead mid moving mid chewing. ف something happened. كانت catastrophic here.
The woo-woo question is not whether it happened, because it almost certainly happened. The woo-woo question is like, are these events somehow cosmically manipulated? You know what I'm saying?
Cosmically by who? By يعني
exactly
God
by
alien?
By God, by the universe, by aliens. Like, why do these things even happen? You know, like for sure, I think the Younger Dryas thing holds up. It seems like what you're saying. There's like loads of stuff on it, but like, why do we have these like cycles, aslan? You know, is it like a simulation, and there's just cycles of civilization? They give us enough time, and then khalas, like that's it, and then restart, reset. So like they send a meteor, you know.
That specific case مكتوبة في البايبل واللي هي القصة بتاعت the giants. هي دي القصة بتاعت Nephilim and the giants.
Yeah.
And do you know what a liger is? Liger is a lion and a tiger. Okay, they're not supposed to marry each other. The lion, I can't remember which.
Does it offend your conservative values?
ها؟
It offends.
ايوه it's against the religion. في سبب، انا هحكي لك السبب ايه. الميل I can't remember exactly, I might be wrong هنا، بس let's say يعني the male lion and the female lion, let's say the female has an inhibitor, حاجة بتاعت growth inhibitor. Whenever they both have sex, the offspring, this ensures that the offspring is not gonna be much larger than both the parents. اسمه growth inhibitor hormone blah blah blah. فده مثلا let's say في الفيميل, okay, and the lions. And the tigers, it's in the male. So if a male lion and a female tiger had sex, their offspring is not gonna go through this gene, so they're gonna be huge, large. That's why the liger is huge. إن مفيش growth. ففي كلام في البايبل، في كلام اسمعه عندنا برضو. In the angels liked the humans, they liked عجبهم الستات قوي، فنزلوا and they married them, and the offspring with no human growth blah 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 was huge. Literally make Amaleka, the large people. David and Goliath. عندنا احنا قصص كتيرة عن giants. فالكلام اللي مكتوب في البايبل وفي القصص التانية ان لما ربنا معرفش يسيطر على الجاينتس بعت نيزك او غرق الارض. The story of Noah و the story of Ushma-Pishtin. I can't, I'm butchering this. بس القصص اللي موجودة في السوميريان culture about the origin of life فيها نفس القصة بتاعت الفلاد، والفلاد متكرر في كل الكالتشرز. يعني every culture has a flood story. في عندنا حاجات مبنية قبل الفلاد. Does not make sense.
Yeah, it just seems like in nature there's a pattern of creation, stagnation, and destruction. It makes sense that the earth would now and then have to cleanse itself by watching it all get destroyed. But who knows, it might be a simulation. We don't understand reality.
It is a simulation.
The reality is that we don't understand reality.
When you say simulation, قصدك simulation as in
as in like there's a higher species that has us trapped into a video game.
بس انت قصدك video game as in like literally like ones and zeros ولا قصدك ان this is
it could be
version
ones and
of
zeros.
spiritual simulation?
We don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. Yeah.
عايز اعرف what you think.
لا, I have no idea. I don't have any convictions on what reality is. I try not to think about it because it's so weird. It's
You try not to think about it.
أيوة طبعا, I try not to think about it because it's so weird. Because if I try to think about it, then I just like stop doing everything, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what does it all mean? Oh my god, it's because it doesn't make any sense, yani. So I just try to make myself as busy as possible. Usually, if I don't, I actually get quite depressed, which is the case these days. But we're not gonna get into that. More on that later.
ليه ممكن نتكلم عن الديبريشن برضه. ما الديبريشن I think it's all related بالمناسبة.
لا, what was your least favorite episode on our channel?
Yeah, what guest would you pull off?
I can't remember the name of the guest.
The guy who talks about the cults?
Yes. And he's also one of my favorite episodes.
Matarid al-Islam is probably the one you liked.
I liked both episodes. بس هو الابيسود اللي بدأ يخبط فيها شوية. And I didn't like hate it. I just felt like, okay, we're not on the same frequency. Like, that's really it. So one of the few episodes where I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to watch this today. But usually all your podcasts are great. And you guys really are really good at giving guests a space. And حتى you did it with me right now. I feel like this is my podcast. انتوا خدتوا على طول الدور بتاع الهوست.
Yeah, we're not great podcast guests because in fact, like most of the time we don't like talking. Like we usually excel at just like poking someone a little bit and then sitting back and listening, which is our style. So the guests kind of like it because they get to just like really just unleash whatever they have. But,
and you don't have any strong opinions that will be like,
well, we keep them to ourselves,
ما يعني هي the guest is the reason أو يعني it's the outlet for you to express some of these. لأن أنا بقول لك أنا مثلا I'm as an audience member. أنت you watch Joe Rogan, you kind of know what Joe Rogan thinks.
Yeah,
you have an idea where Joe Rogan stands, what's his perspective, you can guess.
For sure.
You guys are like a closed vault.
yeah, dude. And what's funny about that is I think like we put out some episodes and people start to think like they get offended if we have someone that contradicts another guest, as if it's like the guests represent our view and that we're like contradicting ourselves. And it's like, dude, that's not the point. We're literally just trying to get the person to express their opinion as best as possible, so we get like a full expression of that idea, regardless of if we agree or not. But people don't always like that. I think our podcast audience though has gotten to like it. They've gotten to realize
got used
that.
to it,
yeah. But
we got used to it. But and I'm speaking for the audience here. But and I personally had like a huge thirst for it, which I think why I came and talked to you, because I was like, okay, what the hell is this? Just text this guy. I found him on Instagram. Tell me more. So that's how I got over it. It was like just find you and talk to you and have answers to my questions. بس حتى أروى لغاية دلوقتي ستيل أروى يعني لسه قافلة الباب شوية. الباب الشباك فتح شوية نفست وقفلته تاني.
لا خالص. انت لو بشوف if you ever watched the old episodes we were
كنت بتتكلمي أكتر. حسيتك وبعدين في مرة من الحلقات كنت بتتكلمي وقلتي يعني you talked about something personal, وهي this something personal is exactly my own trauma, اللي هي when you were young somebody told you you're too much. اخرس بطل لا كتير انت talkative. I think you were talking about it. this يعني as more you grow audience and the more you have هتحسي ان انت خايفة تتكلمي اكتر فتبقي more لبقة و proper.
Yeah, I also there was one particular episode where I was very hyper and people were really mean. They were like, oh, shut up, you talk too much, we don't want to hear from you, we don't want to hear about your experience, we're here to listen to Noor, shut up. They were so mean to me. So I think my own mom actually, she started watching the episode and then she called me mid-episode and was like, I started watching it, she's great, but انتي رغاية قوي, مش عايزين نسمع منك, ما تقوليش حاجة ومش عايزين نسمع صوتك. My own mom, like my biggest supporter. Exactly. It's like my podcast, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so afterwards, I had to really learn to not even like, I used to go like, yeah. People really hated that.
Oh yeah,
So
that was a big thing.
that was a big thing. And then, so people really hated it. And then there was and then I went through a period where I couldn't stop doing it because, like, I'd just been doing it my entire life. And you don't really think about it like in conversation when you're like, when in real life, like outside of the podcast, when you're talking to somebody,
It's
you're like
encouraged
going,
in real life.
exactly,
انت
you're
in
like
real life لو ما
listening.
قلتيش هتحس ان انا مش you're not listening.
Exactly. But now, I went through a period where I had to like keep removing it. That would take so long. So now, like, I've trained myself to just like sit there and like just not ever make a sound unless I have to. And then
It gives me dirty looks. When
I
start
give
doing
Eric
it.
dirty looks whenever, because sometimes he'll forget, and like it's still like the first 5 minutes of the podcast, and he's going like and I can hear him, and I just like, I turn around, I turn to him, and I just give him this look. It's like,
she stopped the
it's like,
podcast one or
do
two
not-
times. Like
do not
she'll
make-
be like, guys, if you keep doing that,
guest.
no one's gonna no one's gonna listen to the podcast. And then I have to like reset, and I'm like, I'm sorry for being enthusiastic about my own podcast.
Well, because then the audience gets mad, and then they complain about it. So what
my
like
only thing was في editing. It really sucks in editing. That's really it. Especially if I don't have an audience to be pissed off at. That's really my entire argument here.
Yeah, dude, it was kind of weird. We discovered that the less we talk, the more people like us, which is a weird experience. It was like the more we removed ourselves from podcasts, the more compliments we got for being good listeners. And it was like it's like showing up to class and like getting rewarded for never participating. It's a very strange phenomenon. So we've just gotten into this flow of just kind of letting the guests mostly talk.
هو لازم يبقى في balance. يعني I also think in sometimes guests say things and it goes unchallenged, and I just feel like somebody should say something.
It's delicate, man. We have that conversation a lot.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. بس يعني مش عايزك تخافي من الاودينس يعني ما
لا,
they always find something to be upset at.
I'm not scared of them. Most of the comments we get now are very loving.
Actually, I find that bad one's funny.
Things have really changed, yani. People used to be really mean, but it was so funny.
Yeah.
But now they're do you want to hear our favorite mean comment ever?
Yeah.
Mara, on one of our earliest, I think probably our second our second ancient Egypt episode ever. It was 2 years ago.
It's the second episode with Monica Hanna, if you actually want to.
It was the second episode with Monica Hanna. It was 2 years ago. فكنا حد عمل كومنت الحمد لله ان اجدادنا ماتوا قبل ما يشوفوا الحلقة دي. Yeah.
We're so mean. It's like it's a talent.
Yeah.
It's so funny. وبعدين طبعا يعني ساعات مثلا بيقوموا قايلين مثلا حاجات مثلا إيريك لذيذ وعاقل بس أروى دي لو تخرس خالص حاجات كده.
But they've also called me a Zionist.
ساعات بيقولوا على إيريك هو إيريك ده مين بالظبط حاجات
عميل واحد صحيح.
ما بيتريقوش عليك عشان الاكسنت that you don't get these.
In the beginning they used to just make fun of me so much. أكيد ليه لسانه معوج يعني why كل الناس في البودكاست ده بتكلم عربي بالعافية like
هم ليه المذيعين العربي بتاعهم مكسر.
And and then sometimes occasionally I'd be like على فكرة أنا مش مصري مش عارف إيه just to like feel good about myself and like have a conversation but I don't even bother anymore and I think everyone knows now. They're like this goofy white dude, just it's like whatever, leave him alone. Like he's
if what you learn يعني if you do something كده often enough is that you can get people to like you by getting
used to you. Yeah.
فاللي هو وبعدين at the end of the day it's like I mean that's happened to us, that's happened to you طبعا, where you've like you watch something أي حاجة and you're like, and then like a few months later if you watch it every day you're like, oh I love this show or I love this guy.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
ألبوم عمرو دياب الجديد وحش بس لو سمعته كفاية.
بالظبط
هيبقى حلو. دي كانت طفولتي.
وبعدين الناس اللي يعني بيقولوا حاجات positive بيبقوا أكتر بقى من الناس اللي بيقولوا حاجات negative، فخلاص يعني people who wanna say negative stuff go away يعني، فاهم قصدي؟
بس هو اللي بيقول نيجاتيف يعني عارفه اللي هو there's no bad feedback there's no bad publicity it's the same thing
أيوه
اللي
they're
دخل
helping
كاتب
us.
comment negative great thank you for the algorithm boost فيعني it takes اتعلمت انا ده from one of my exes اللي هو if I don't care why would I respond
Yeah.
خلاص I responded that's it's in a way it's care ف يعني I just hope لان انا I've seen this a lot وانا I'm struggling with the same thing ان هو you dim yourself بس that's it ف don't dim yourself علشان حد ولا عشان خاطر احنا المجتمع بتاعنا مش I don't know if Eric you've noticed this احنا we're not a gentle society يعني الحب عندنا حب بالشبشب
Yeah, for
ف
sure.
يعني are you familiar with the shit sandwich
يعني what do you mean? Like I
and
know it as a...
feedback the shit sandwich feedback
لا, I mean, no, what do you mean?
Okay. In any artistic field, if you want to give somebody feedback, you use the method of the shit sandwich, which is you say, great work. I like the lighting. I liked your performance. Your voice was great. Here comes the shit. The topic was not, you say a lot. But if you keep going, it's going to be great. So we made this bread, shit.
You got a shit sandwich for us?
No. I got a set sandwich for you with let me finish the story first. I really don't. Most of my sandwich notes, like most of the shit is editing. I'm like, oh, maybe we can put music. يعني لما أنا بحس إن الانترو غريبة شوية. بحس إن الانترو is a bit. Oh, okay. Yes, he's cutting. Okay, and starts. I always when I'm watching other podcasts and I see them have a good intro and I'm like, why does this work? And I see, oh, they have. That's why I told you about the music. I was like, oh, have you tried putting music maybe in the beginning, maybe like a little flash and then the logo and then we go to the guest. That's really it. And my other note was you guys should talk more. But then you guys explained to me, you gave me the origin story of the abuse you faced.
لا
فلا
خالص،
really
هو the less we talk the more people like us and the more people watch the podcast فعلا.
Yeah, we used to talk a little more and it never really worked in our favor. Also, like I have like the reverse the khawaga thing going on where I feel like as a white dude with Arabic as like my way less fluent language, I just
reverse
like
don't
don't
khawaga is you should TM this.
I don't know, but I just feel like I shouldn't be speaking too much. Like I'm like let the like this I'm like kind of like observing, asking a question. That's what I see my role. Like I don't actually want to take a big space on the podcast and say much. It's always like I don't know. I have that thing going on.
I think the more you're forced to listen to people as well, the less opinions you have.
I think it depends on the episode. يعني لما تجيبوا حد زي what's the name of that guy اللي هو
محمد نبيل المصري. عثمان أحمد عثمان.
في guests they know you and it's like almost a philosophical conversation. We're talking, we're throwing ideas here. What does this mean? Like I always thought it was this. For this I want to hear from you as much as I want. بس يعني that was my question about when I see guests coming with notes. I'm like, okay, so you're doing a lecture.
Yeah, they're hard to cut off too sometimes.
Really, you're doing the best you can, especially with like, okay, now you have an audience and the audience is giving you feedback and you're incorporating the feedback into your performance. لا, I really don't. You guys are doing great.
It's not always easy, والله.
Yo, you know, like
I know.
A lot of the production
48
stuff
episodes, 14 years. It's not easy. I know.
Yeah, dude. A lot of the production stuff you're talking about is also like we do them really fast. Like we usually shoot a podcast and then release it the same day or the next day.
Oh wow.
And it's so like these are not like art projects that we do. That's why there's no like music on the intro. It's just like it's because it's just the two of us. And like we don't like sometimes people are like thank the team. And we're like, we are the team, dude. Like we're just
فريق الإعداد.
Yeah, فريق الإعداد. Like no, like it's just like me and Arwa like trying to get this out as soon as possible. So that's why we have 130 something, but we don't have music in the intro.
بس يعني الحاجات دي كلها I think it's gonna be easy. بتحط يعني you're putting decorations on already well-oiled machine.
Arwa has a separate theory or idea, philosophy about this.
أحب أسمع.
About like why there's no music and stuff like that and intros and things like that.
You guys have your
Ten, ten, ten,
But
ten, ten,
but
ten,
I know what
ten,
you
ten,
mean.
ten, ten,
But you
ten.
mean like the very like cinematic, nicely like done up intros where there's music and there's sometimes like words on the bottom or Masharaf E, because that's like
لا
modern
لا
now in podcasts.
you make the intro as if it's a TikTok in terms of, so for the intro I'm just gonna put all the subtitles on the words, and like if you want to emphasize something you're like, okay, this way he said this larger word, this stuff, and while whatever he's saying there is light music in the background just to show me that this is not the show, and then the show goes and it's just without any bells and whistles, and that's fine. But see, I've seen it a lot in the CEO podcast, Diary of a CEO,
Yeah.
Know Thyself podcast with the know Thyself podcast. His production values are great, so I'm not comparing you guys to that one because he clearly have like a crew and cameras and.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, they do some bells and whistles in the intro just to make it look different, so that you're like, okay, great, this is a promo, this is a teaser, and then the
that's
show
how
starts.
that's how they get reach, man, because like when you
Yeah.
have those intros and they make them like long now, I noticed they're getting like longer and longer. It sucks people in, so they guarantee that like the viewers don't like click out, because YouTube punishes the shit out of you if everyone like clicks in and clicks out in the first minute. So I think it's more like strategic for the algorithm.
And that being
No one
said,
ever watches our stuff less than a minute.
Yeah,
As
but
maybe
like
the
shorts
average is
مثلا ولا
always.
no, but like if you hook people in the beginning of a show, like there's some viewers who only watch like the beginning of shows. And so like I think people lengthen the intros because they want those viewers to stay as long as possible, so that like at least for the short viewers they get like 5 to 10 minutes out of them. Whereas like then whoever's going to watch the whole thing, they'll still watch the whole thing, but there's some people they just like click in and out of videos. So if you could extend that, you're going to get more like boost from the algorithm, cuz it's all like a stupid game to see like how much watch time you can get.
It's have you seen the podcast with Matt Damon and
There's a Matt Damon podcast.
Ben
No.
Ben
Affleck?
Affleck?
Ben
No,
Affleck,
There's
yeah.
a Ben
they were
Affleck Matt Damon
guests.
podcast.
Calm down. They were
Oh.
guests on Joe
Okay,
Rogan.
they were guests. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't have their own podcast. They were just guests on Joe Rogan, and they were talking about the industry.
Arwa got so excited.
Sorry.
I saw it. I was like, okay, put her down. They were talking about the industry, and they've done a lot of action movies pre-Netflix. So they were saying that when we used to make a movie, there used to be this third act showstopper, like an amazing action scene. That's where you put all your money. That's where you do like the big explosions, the biggest scenes. That's always at the third act, so way at the end of the movie. Now Netflix, when they're making an action movie, it asks the writers to put one of those in the first 5 minutes
Yeah, cuz
of
we're brain
the
dead.
movie,
Yeah.
because people will skip. And the writers are being instructed to make the characters repeat the narrative as much as possible, because people are not paying attention. So that's why the writing sucks, because people are like, yes, father, we are now cooking the food so that we can go eat before we go battle the evil monsters and kill them. So that's why it sucks, because they are recognizing that the movie is playing while the dog is in the background and the laundry is happening and somebody's cooking and somebody came in, so we can't
you're on
really
your phone.
focus that much. So it's all shitty. Like all entertainment is this weird. If only you don't get my attention for 15 seconds, I'm out. Bye. I have billions of other videos to go through. So
yeah.
فعشان كده you guys capturing this audience is you're being too hard on yourself.
I'm still shocked that people will watch like
The weirdest thing is
long
people
podcasts.
following us on Instagram. It doesn't like, why would anyone follow us on Instagram? We don't post anything.
Yeah.
بس لا again for the same interest, who are these people? عايز أعرف more. I want to know more about them. Especially I see you guys going to all of these like going to معابد و going to sites. Are you familiar with Uncharted X?
Yeah.
طيب الراجل ده عمل كل البيزنس بتاعه ان هو بس بيروح وبيصور. That's it.
I know.
That's it.
Yeah. I feel very dumb for living here and not having done that. like I yeah.
how do you feel about like when I left the country and these things were there and I was like, and now I'm watching these things on Google Maps and I'm like, oh, I could have, I used to. We took these things for granted. انا ما كنتش بخرج برا روكسي وانا في مصر يعني. That's it.
Everyone's like that. Everyone is like that. That's like when you're in Egypt, you don't think about these sites. You're sucked into like Cairo itself. I was never going to these places until we got sucked into Ahmed Adli's stuff a few years back.
ايوه احمد عدلي. طيب.
Yeah, Ahmed Adli is what
I love
really
Ahmed
got me into
أنا
this.
كمان بحبه قوي.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. So
يعني his analogy about مش عارف بقى دي بتاعته ولا بتاعت مين، بس هي الحركة بتاعت ان انت in order for you لما تيجي تعمل مسطرة تديها لطالب غير لما تعملها عشان تقطع بيها. You'll care about the precision in what
Yeah.
you're making. فأنا بصراحة يعني ده one of يعني the things that shaped my theory about the pyramids. هو مستحيل تقول لي إن all of this precision was done for religious or political reasons. There has maybe religious we don't understand, بس يعني مش a tomb. It's not a tomb.
Honestly, the most shocking thing for me in all of this is how arrogant the Egyptologists are. Because
But
we've
that's
had
on
them on,
purpose, dude.
and they will not budge an inch for the most part. Like there's like some exceptions, but they are so like stuck in their positions. Like I've heard other people say that before, and I thought they were exaggerating, but it's true. Like every time we've had Egyptologists on, it's like they have a script. And they don't want to go off the script. And like any question you ask, you're like, no, that's impossible because of X, Y, and Z. But they rarely have any like philosophical curiosity about it at all. It's like they are like the most programmed people on the topic, obviously. But
I think Zahi Hawass initially he meant well. Like I think initially he was protecting because a lot of people came and said, well, they're built by aliens, they're built by. So I think his initial response was to try to stop this type of thinking from becoming mainstream. بس لا, he went too far. يعني now Zahi Hawass is a punchline. And a lot
but
of,
it's not.
especially
But
after
it's not
his
just
Joe Rogan.
him. It's like all of the Egyptologists that we ever talk to are they always tend to be like that. It's like
I'm
a
not
culture.
surprised. بس and that's my point ان احنا عندنا في الكالتشر بتاعت المصريين عندنا الايجو بتاعت احنا المصريين احنا مش عارف ايه فدي بتعميهم يعني the fact ان انت as a scientist لو انت قعدت سنين scientist forget about archaeology انت قعدت scientist you are championing and giving lectures and giving theories and writing papers on one thing and then one day they tell you it's wrong اكيد you'll have an ego يعني it's an ego death for you to accept this.
True.
زودي بقى عليه وزود عليه الايجو بتاع المصريين. it becomes impossible. It becomes such a high horse, it never can come off.
Yeah, they hate Ahmed Adli, but like he's the goat of the field, honestly, for just like poking holes at everything or translating a lot of it, at least for Egyptians.
طب ما هو ده برضه بيتكلم على كاتاكليزم يعني بيتكلم على apocalypse.
أكيد.
that you guys انتوا برضه skeptical بس ايه من بعيد.
لا, I love the Ahmed Adli stuff. Like I but again
يعني
like
what did that change the story of history in your mind?
I hadn't considered it, man. Like you learn the basics, but you don't think about it too much. It was more of just like now it just seems like we really don't know. It's all just open questions. I mean, Ahmed Ali doesn't answer any of the questions. He just raises them. He's not actually saying how any of it was actually built or who built it. He's just trying to let us know that look, the standard framework is like kind of illogical. So we need to keep asking questions. Dude, I'm dying to know what's under the pyramids. Ever since those Italians started scanning it. That's why we had Ahmed Adli on like 6 months ago to try to talk more about it, but he didn't really have like too much more to say, but that is like for me the big elephant under the sand. That's not an expression.
Okay, we understand in انت Egyptologist you're going to be stubborn about people challenging what you have like lectured or wrote papers about. بس ليه في blocking في الحاجات اللي احنا ما نعرفش فيها حاجة unknown يعني we really don't know what's underneath. I don't think it's gonna mess any paradigm for anyone. بس مع ذلك في deliberate stopping of it.
I think there's a general paranoia towards any theories that come from the West. and I think it's a bit يعني it's not very good علشان it delays progress in our understanding of things يعني, and our understanding of history should always be evolving طبعا based on new findings وكده. بس برضو I don't blame Egypt for being paranoid because the West has a long history of distorting facts and taking credit for things and coming up with theories that turn out to be wrong, and يعني and coming here and wanting to يعني 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 Egyptians are paranoid of foreigners, بس يعني it makes sense to me. it's not like it's not like, oh, why are we suddenly so paranoid? We were a country that was that has been colonized way too many times, وفي الآخر برضو كل الثيريز بتاعت راندل كارلسون وحاجات اللي بيقولها جرام هانكوك و everything that أحمد عدلي, as much as I love him, translated. These are all just theories. وأصلا our whole understanding of Egyptology is based on theories from white people that once came and visited Egypt and came up with some bullshit. Then then a whole fucking field was based on. فيعني when I'm a big believer that things just continue to repeat themselves forever. يعني everything is just, we just live in these fucking cycles, and so أنا مثلا أنا كأروى مثلا I don't believe anything that the West says.
بس برضو we're hiding something. I don't know what we're hiding. I suspect إن في مشاكل إن the dam ruined the ecosystem of the water table there, and منها it did more damage than it has anticipated, وما يقدروش يقول لك طب خلاص هنشيل السد.
That's what happened to Hawara. So possibly at Giza too, yeah. I don't know, man. When the US finishes destroying the world, and it comes blowing up in its face, where are you gonna go?
اكيد هرجع مصر، بس يعني بعد السيفل وور لو لسه في مصر apparently باللي هيحصل ده.
لو لسه في مصر, you think Moscow is gonna be affected?
هو انت ما سمعتش ال end of the world ساعة ما يعني كمية الناس اللي مثلا من امريكا هنا اللي انت كنت متخيل ان هم مش بتوع دين، مش بتوع الكلام ده. You guys were talking about this on your last podcast, ان في 200 reports of people generals using biblical and religious reference to start this war.
Yeah.
We know one side, Christian Zionists, that's really their entire, that's فعلا, that's really the goal. We go there, we destroy Iran. Once we destroy Iran, now we can do the they call it Pax Judaica.
Yeah.
Yes. That's all fine and dandy if it wasn't also what the Freemasons want, and if it wasn't also what Peter Thiel, do you know Peter Thiel?
طبعا.
And
his boy Jesse Michaels.
Huh?
And his boy Jesse Michaels, one of my favorite podcasts, even though it's a Peter Thiel sponsored operation. But anyway, keep going.
Oh, what the hell? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's Peter Thiel's investor. That's why the podcast is so nice.
Oh.
And that's part of Peter Thiel's agenda, probably, like some of the ideas. That's how they get those guests. Eric Weinstein is a Peter Thiel guy. So that's why he's always on the show.
Oh my God, that explains how Jesse just appeared out of nowhere.
طبعا.
And he was working with Eric before.
Yeah, they were both at Thiel's company. Anyway.
Interesting. And you've seen the Epstein files?
I don't want to look, man.
But you've heard the news?
I mean, I hear these random things, but I don't know. Like, I can never tell how much of it is like verified when they're talking about, like, you hear stuff like they're eating babies and like crazy shit, but like how much of that is? Yeah, exactly. So I don't know where the line is on that because I don't actually look into them myself.
But like when there's a phone call between Epstein and he's talking to Ehud Barak, former Prime Minister of Israel, and he is giving him the name of Peter Thiel and the name of Peter Thiel's company, Palantir. What is Palantir? Palantir, they're making AI surveillance. And that's since Epstein, it's been a thing. Epstein, Israel, same thing. So that's been Epstein's direction from such a long time. And now this is the number one company. And Trump is doing a lot of business with it. And Peter Thiel himself is going around Silicon Valley, giving lectures about the Antichrist.
Yeah. Do you know anyone who went to the lectures? Like, was it interesting?
I think Duncan Trussell went to the lecture and he said like,
oh yeah,
wasn't really like that big of a blah, blah, blah. But still, like the idea of that there is something about this prophecy, the number of the beast, that there will be an AI headquarters, the AI government is going to be in Jerusalem. And we're all going to have digital ID and digital currency. And that's when Jesus comes back. That's the only reason. That's how we bring Jesus back. I can't
Jesus
remember
was
his
definitely waiting on the digital currency.
Yeah.
That was his like that was his final
I'm not going to
condition.
come back before crypto.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a professor called Jang, some last name that I can't
Dude,
pronounce.
I've watched like every single one of his videos. I'm completely obsessed with that guy, Professor Jang. Yeah, this secret history. Yes. Yeah. Arwa like makes fun of me at this point for watching all of his videos.
Arwa, you're not into this also, huh?
I've only seen one of his videos.
I'm always trying to drag her in. Like, anyway.
Watch the one about the universe. I think he has a series called The Great Books.
Yeah.
Watch the first episode because I think that's really the most down to the bones, no emotions explanation of the universe. Like he just takes it, it's like step by step, and it's so easy and it's so nice. But that guy has this theory about the Freemasons. The Freemasons wanting to defy God, or like say that they are going to be God. So they have to defy God in three things. It's first that they create life, kill a king, and manipulate matter. They manipulated matter by the nuke that was done in Trinity, and that was exactly 33 degrees above the equator, and 33 degrees a very important number for the Masons.
First crashed UFO, according to Jacques Vallée at Trinity.
Yep. And with a UFO, by the way, UFO and nukes.
Yeah.
And they killed the king, which was Kennedy. 33 degree above the equator is Dallas, where he died.
Oh.
And they need to create life, which is 33 degrees from the equator is Jerusalem, where they really make AI, where they really put AI there. So again, 4 different or 5 different, and that's aside from the story of the Iranians waiting for the Mahdi to come. So also it's all about, let's make sure the Jews get back here, and then this becomes their government, the Greater Israel Project. That's why they're attacking Iran for no reason. Like, what's the reason they're attacking Iran now? I can't tell you that this is to bring Jesus back. That would be insane. So it's WMDs. It's they have a new leader. We're gonna kill him also.
Yeah, dude, the news doesn't make any sense. That's why there's almost no logic to anything unless you start to think about conspiracy or like
again. All the conspiracies that we were talking about turned out to be true, aside from flat Earth. So tell me, please convince me logically not to think conspiracy theory.
I don't trust people who don't believe in conspiracies. Like, I don't trust them at all. I used
to be like you. I used to be outside of conspiracy theories, and I was like, this is insane.
No, I'm saying I don't trust people. I don't trust people who don't believe in conspiracy theories. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm trying to say I was one of the people that you don't trust.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was all bullshit. Especially like something like the astrology. Like it's all bullshit. And then you start reading about things, and when America was bombing Iran last year in June, using the pinnacle of stealth technology, the B-2 bomber, and we are getting headlines about the B-2 bomber has left the US, then why is it stealth?
Yeah.
Then this is a play. This is this is for us. This is our. You see, the plane has moved. It's going. There's a lot of these things. Where it's like, why are you telling us this? Or just a lot of questions. Professor Jang also brings up the fact of like ISIS, this terrorist organization that hates Israel, that never attacked Israel.
Yeah, dude. Also, like, where did they get such nice weapons?
I know.
And nice cameras. If you see the first
And
videos,
nice
they're like
cinematically
done well.
They shoot better than our podcast.
فيعني أكيد يعني all evidence points to that there's a charade that's being played for us.
It's an action movie. It's an American action movie. We live in an American action movie.
يرجعنا تاني لبليتو's cave. يبقى كده فعلا somebody is casting shadows and الفخ ان انت to believe in this is real.
Yeah, لقد وقعنا في الفخ جامد. For sure. But the one thing that gives me hope, and it's a very small silver lining, is that I see people talking shit about 9/11 in the US nowadays, which I never, ever expected growing up. That was such a taboo. And now it's like you can finally talk about 9/11 being bullshit. It's like everywhere. That's like, I was shocked in the last couple of years seeing that, you know?
But they're not saying it's bullshit, right? Like, what do you...
Don't
all I
people
hear
call...
is the Tucker talk.
The what?
The Tucker talk, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, but I guess from that, I just see like, I guess maybe it's because I'm just way too much of a conspiracy theorist, but like on my feeds, I just see people like sharing videos and making fun of the official narrative. And it's more widespread. I don't remember ever seeing that kind of stuff up until like post-COVID, I guess. It was such a taboo. Like if I ever like said anything back in the day, people were like, do you actually believe that the American government would kill its own people? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, actually. But it was like unthinkable. Now it's like people are like, oh yeah, maybe I don't know. That's my vibe, but I'm not there, so I don't know. You would know.
It's not that. I used to have a joke about saying that Americans are stealing our culture because when I moved here, like nobody was fasting. Like there was like Ramadan was a Muslim thing, and now like everybody's doing intermittent fasting. And like the punchline for this joke, I go through like intermittent fasting and not having sex and not drinking. It's like, oh, so you guys are like Muslims now. You're stealing our culture. And now I'm hearing everyone saying like, oh, 9/11 was an inside job. Like, leave us something.
Yeah.
And back then they were also burning American flags on campuses. That was like part of the joke. I'm like, these are our things. Like, stop stealing our culture. Because I grew up watching like your sitcoms and your culture, and I would watch and I'm like, look at all the Americans. They're having so much fun. Like they're drinking at bars. And they're not doing Ramadan. Like, it's so nice. And then I moved here, and you guys all just turned Muslim. Like, I don't know what happened. Everyone is sober now. You're doing intermittent fasting. You're burning the American flag on college campuses. These are our things. What are you guys doing? Oh, 9/11 was an inside job. Leave us something. You're taking all of our culture now. But I think it's also because when you saw 9/11 for the first time, there was a huge question mark that every single time you bring it up, people say, shut up. You're not supposed to say that.
Yep. Yeah. You have to like drag them to a computer and be like, this is Tower 7. Watch Tower 7 fall. How does that building fall? And you just keep showing them like, tell me how it fell, please. How did this fall? And then they just look confused and like there's no answer and they usually just hate you. and then that's how you lose all your friends and end up moving to Egypt.
That was the incident. 10 years later, after he proposed the idea that 9/11 was an inside job, he had to be exiled to Egypt.
Yeah.
Go live with the terrorists that you support. Two of them.
Yeah. I mean, basically, yeah. That's, dude. When I would like post stuff on Facebook, like it would be like no one commenting, and then my mom, why do you hate us? So I just had to stop. I was like, this is I'm done posting. Like it doesn't go anywhere.
لا totally normal دلوقتي الموضوع ده. And it just adds up to all the stories about all the other but I think the common story here is that it was not fully an inside job. It was just more of an incompetence, that they could have stopped this 1,000 times, and when it fucked up and they realized that it went out of whack, they tried to cover their mistakes, so it just turned into this. But were there like plans to blow up the you can talk about how maybe bin Laden is a CIA asset, or like we can talk about this a lot, but I don't think that was like you can see the mix of incompetence and cover up. That's usually the magic combination. That I think also same thing with COVID. Like what do you think COVID was?
Don't know, man.
What's
your theories, like based on the stories?
I never got the vaccine.
Okay, you got the vaccine.
I had to get it to travel. I took the Chinese one once, which is the non what's it called? It's the non mRNA. It's not the mRNA one. I took the other one just to be safe, you know. But I don't know, man. I don't have any
I thought it was a big conspiracy.
I always thought I mean, I used to post a lot of the lab leak stuff and piss off my friends. They would yell at me about that early on. They're like, that's a crazy conspiracy. But definitely seems like it was a lab leak. But like, I don't know whether that was. Some people think it was intentionally leaked. I don't know.
I think it's and I think that's the answer to a lot of these things. Yes, there is sinister stuff that happens sinisterly, but I feel like this was more of a mistake happened, and then we had to cover up the mistake. Somebody accidentally leaked something.
I think
the
that's
fact that they're studying. I'm sorry, say that again.
No, that's where I'm at too. I think that's probably what happened, but I don't know anything.
It's like the Arkham's razor, like the least effort explanation. Something accidentally leaked, and then let's cover it up. So you're seeing the results of the cover up, and the conspiracy is, they did this that they can damage the economy or whatever. It was an opportunity, and some people jumped on it, just like the revolution in Egypt. Look at this, something can happen from here. Okay, let's do it. As much as I'm a conspiracy theorist, I see this line, the through line of human behavior. What do humans really do? They do this. That's because like the perfect scenario of there was a leak controlled and we made sure it only goes out from the left window to America. It takes a lot of effort.
I don't have any theories about COVID, but what I would say is what disturbed me is just the effect, the extent to which we weren't allowed to talk about anything, like the censorship. Like I had never experienced, I don't think in our lifetimes there was ever a topic which was so banned from us talking about or challenging that just like, and the fact that like lots of like pretty intelligent people that I knew would like shame you for like wanting to challenge the narrative. Like we were not allowed to discuss this. That just bothered the shit out of me completely. And like the newspapers were like, just the coverage was disgusting, man. I mean, we're journalists, so like we used to have to cover things like this, and like that level of censorship was like outrageous, man. So that like, even if you have a crazy theory, you know,
I don't have a crazy theory. Like really, my craziest theory is just accident plus human behavior plus people seeing it and exaggerating and making theories. بس يعني I don't feel I felt surprised by any of the reaction of the news here or like the censorship, لان انا متعود على ده من مصر. يعني متعود ان في راي ينفع يتقال راي ما في صح وما يصحش. ما حدش بيقول اللي كان بيعارض في مصر كان بيعارض fringe, like it wasn't really a thing that you see all the time. I'm used to okay, just shut up and don't say what you need to say. That wasn't surprise. I think the surprise is the shattering of this illusion, and it's gonna be different here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's really you see how it's the same social, the biggest the biggest person, that the biggest abuser or the biggest يعني اكتر حد بيعمل لك abuse او بيعمل لك
manipulation
is the one that claims to be fighting
block
it.
your freedom of speech. What is that called? There's a word for that. To
Suppression.
Suppression. The biggest suppression comes from society. خالتك هتقول عليك ايه؟ عمتك جارتك هتقول ايه؟ That's really it. في كل حتة.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. A lot of stigmatization or whatever. Yeah. I think we're all like basically going in the same direction. It's just that like some countries have tons of money to like censor Bishieka, and other countries they don't, so they just show up at your house in the middle of the night and they arrest you, you know?
وبعدين يعني everything they made fun of, for example, for Egypt, now England is doing. Like, oh, you said this on social media, let's go grab you. That was a thing that they made fun of in Egypt. And now the US is kind of doing that now with ICE. Like ICE being this and that's another conspiracy theory. Why would Trump do this? I've already accumulated you guys to seeing the view. Americans are not used to this. يا أروى احنا غلابة. انك تشوفوا جيش امريكا في الشارع ما بيشوفوش المناظر دي. انك تشوفي ان okay, yes, they're deployed in DC, they're not used to this. I've now normalized this. It's totally normal, and I'm already threatening that when the elections come, if you don't show me all the bailout, the voter registration, so that I can make sure that they're not tampered with, I have my ICE standing around all the ballot boxes. He talked about this. And then now we're in war, and like since we're in war, I don't think there's time for elections. So third term.
Are you a citizen of the US?
I'm a green card aspirant. I'm aspiring to get a green card.
Oh no, really? Oh yeah, you mentioned. Oh man.
I just had my interview in December after 10 years waiting in line.
Jesus.
10 years. Oh my
10
God.
years. And I came right after, like I applied right after after Trump came. And Trump مثلا let's say كان في 100 واحد في الطابور خلاص، فانت دلوقتي هتاخدي 101. لا، ترامب قال لا، هنبتدي ناخد واحد عشان خاطر الناس دي واقفه بقى لها كتير، فهنبتدي ناخد الجداد الاول قبل القدام. So if somebody came to the border after I applied, they look into his case first. فزودي بقى how many immigrant crises over the years. كل ما الimmigrant crisis to flare, I get back in line. I think the queue got to 1.4 million cases that they're looking into before my case.
Why don't you just go to Mexico and then cross back and then sneak in?
That I revoke my all of this time waiting.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just kidding, man. That's
sneak in. انت شايف حد عارف يعدي؟ مش حد عارف يخش.
You can't just marry someone.
ما لقيتش حد عدل، ما لقيتش حد. I didn't want to do it in a lie. ما كنتش عايز اعمل الموضوع يعني اوكي strictly for عشان I was afraid ممكن حد يبعبصك يروح يفتن عليك. قلت بلاش، خليني if it came organic كان به. But then I met a lot of crazy white ladies, and then I was like, all right, just wait for an Egyptian, half American, maybe that's gonna help.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
It's funny how.
Just show up in Sharm, man. That seems to be a strategy for a lot of guys.
Show up in Sharm?
Yeah, you don't know about the old ladies who hang out at the Red Sea and they pick up all those Egyptian boys and then.
Oh, I thought you were saying charm, SCHARM.
No, Sharm el-Sheikh.
Show up and charm them. I was like, oh, nice, thank you. That's a nice advice. Like, no, go to Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yeah.
Okay,
it could be a good show actually. If you want to do a show where your goal is a reality show where we're trying to find you an old Western wife in Sharm. We'll follow your like travel around, see if you like how long it'll take. We'll watch you go out on dates with them. We'll see like if we can get you a path to citizenship through the Red Sea.
It's what is the name of the 30-day fiance? What is that one, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't
Something
know.
like that, but
Yeah,
overseas. أنا
yeah,
أروح بقى أدور عليهم في شرم الشيخ. As soon as I can get to Egypt, that would be great. I can't leave the country right now. فلو عرفت أوصل لمصر, it's gonna be nice.
You can't leave because of your green card?
Because of my case is pending. قاعد مستني. فلو مشيت دلوقتي, I reset everything.
Oh no.
Which is gonna be hard.
Okay, I'll help you get your green card soon, and then you can come visit.
I hope so too.
Kids, you miss it.
أكيد it's لما حد بيقول لي what's the thing you miss the most about Egypt? It's like people and food. It's like and what's the thing you missed the least about Egypt? People and food.
yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
حاجة كده
صح.
it's abusive. تحسي ان هو الناس
Yeah.
مقرفة ومش عايز اشوف امهم تاني, والحمد لله
Of
انا
course.
خرجت
When you drive around, so sometimes like if you're really like if you're kind of down and feel a bit shitty, if you walk around, you know, كده and it's crowded and stuff, sometimes it can have the effect of making you feel a lot better. Like if you get on the metro أو حاجة, but sometimes the exact opposite. And sometimes if you're like, if everyone's away مثلا عشان it's like عيد أو حاجة فمعادي مثلا, or like Cairo's a bit empty, you drive around and you're like, wow, Cairo's so beautiful when there's no one around. And it's a mere thought, but you definitely think it, you know?
I know لا 100%. I took this for granted لما جيت هنا. يعني عارفة القصة بتاعت العربية وقفت بيكي على جنب الشارع و3 4 وقفوا لك. أبويا عنده 75 سنة بيحكي لي إن هو عربيته وقفت. Somebody who's 80 years old stopped by to help him. Science fiction هنا. One time.
Our car broke down
In
in New Jersey, and we
couldn't find any help until there was a random Egyptian man working at a gas station.
لا.
And he wasn't gonna help us, but I was like, but we figured out he was Egyptian somehow. So I was like, La wallahi ustaz yani, and he heard the Egyptian, and he was like, so he had to. And
he looked super Egyptian. بالصدفة يعني the car stopped, the nearest gas station, the guys were Egyptian. وبعدين سمعنا واحد منهم بيقول للتاني بيقول له do you have stibn؟ فأنا وإيريك بصينا لبعض كده اللي هو قلت له دول مصريين. قلت له بقول لك ايه ساعدنا. قام بص لي كده وكان بيها بقى.
The guy had just come from like surgery, remember?
أيوه, he was like
he was not in good shape. And but he still like he gave me like detailed instructions on how to change the tire, because I'm so incompetent I didn't even know how to change the tire, you know. And so he was like, okay, do this, and he like stood with us and helped us the whole time. Gada yani. So
you missed this. الجدعنة دي the negative side of it is الحشرية. ما هو عشان يبقى جدع هو حشري اساسا وقاعد مركز في حالك عشان it's يعني I see ان هو تحس ان في community وتحس ان انت you're never alone. يعني I felt safer in Egypt عن هنا.
طبعا.
You can go at whatever night. هنا الساعة 11 بالليل تحس ان okay, go home, it's not safe. مش يعني I didn't feel I thought this was maybe an immigrant feeling, بس سألت المصريين تانيين قابلتهم they confirmed. يعني فعلا تحس ان
Have you been in LA the whole time, or you were somewhere else when you first went to the US?
Went to Portland, Oregon for 3 months that I quickly regretted and came running back to the sun.
But did you go to LA because of comedy, or it was random? Like
random. زي كده لقد وقعنا في الفخ. أنا ما كنتش أعرف. Again, I thought it was all gonna be New York. ما كانش عندي فكرة إن في different. يعني I can tell you that when I moved to America, I didn't know that Hollywood was in California.
Okay, but you were into comedy before?
لا. عملت ستاند اب مره في مصر كده, كان في اكسس اوف ايفل جم مصر. وعلى their tour كانوا عاملين okay, we're just gonna take some auditions, if you want to do comedy come try. And I did like this set in Arabic that was weird. Still have it for some reason. But I didn't like يعني it didn't ignite in me doing it. I've always wanted to do it, but it was يعني عيب, ما ينفعش تقول كده. لازم تبقى مهندس, لازم تبقى دكتور, لازم ينفعش تعمل الكلام الفارغ ده.
You never started until you did it in English in the US.
Yeah. When I
Shit.
moved here and saw that there was a second city on Hollywood Boulevard, just knowing who Steve Carell and like Colbert, I was like, oh, okay, I'll go take. Oh, they have a stand-up class. I'll go take a stand-up class.
Mm.
And then what are you gonna teach in stand-up? No one's gonna like. This is how you write a joke. They usually just like talk about your material. They make you write material, and then you go. They introduce you to the open mics. This is where you go do comedy here, and then just that. Okay, I have a show. I need to write these jokes and go try them. Blah blah blah. And like after I finished stand-up, I just kept going in second city. Oh, you guys have improv? Okay, great. Let's see what that's about. So yeah, like again, another synchronicity of just things falling out of like in such a weird order. Yeah, you find
cool.
yourself doing it. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I think you're
And
living.
I hear you guys are starting to like. There was attempts to start a comedy scene in Egypt.
Well, there is a comedy scene already.
Stand up, بالعربي.
Yeah, for sure. Last couple of years, it's been growing. I would say. I think at least we see all these shows. They happen like out in like they're mostly out in like the Tegamo side or the October side, where there's like kind of nicer bars and stuff. Now they have these like shows, but it's not like a big scene. But they have like shows every week. But there's not a lot of open mics. So like what we wanted to do is start more of like an open mic type of scene, so people can try comedy. So we had like a couple shows here, like not shows, open mics, but it's like it's nothing, and it's like a very underdeveloped. It's not a thing. It's not like the US where there's open mics everywhere, and like it's really hard to find places to go. That's why I wanted to start it, because I wanted to try it, but there's like so few opportunities to get like some stage time. You know?
I think it needs to be rebranded. Like I feel people who know what stand up is are usually like it doesn't translate. I feel اسماعيل ياسين.
Yeah, I don't.
اسماعيل
I
ياسين كان
don't know.
بيعمل ايه؟ عارفه انت اسماعيل ياسين يا اروى؟ اسماعيل ياسين كان بيعمل حاجه اسمها monologist, which I think is our version of stand up. It's exactly the same, but I think is when you bring it from this angle, I think people are gonna be more, oh, I want to try this, as opposed to, oh, this is a foreign art.
You're right, man. If you get your green card, you should come here and help build.
And
scene.
I've always thought about this, and I think Saïd Sawi is where you should try.
I mean, say to say, there's like shows like you can host a show there if you can rent out the place, but there's not that I'm aware of like a regular type of like mic type of thing.
That's what I mean. They already have a regular community that is open to, we're gonna play music, like they're already an artistic community. If there became an open mic there, that let's say, for example, you host go talk to them, see if, hey, can I host our open mic here at a weird time of the day, 12 p.m., 1 p.m., something that they're not really like, you're not taking away from showtime. If they're not making shows, you're gonna rent the stage and give them money. There might be a deal here. And then just you slowly start putting flyers out and slowly building your community, same way you did with the podcast. Then I think from that, you can have your own show. Like, let's say, okay, from this community every month now I book the best comics I see here, and then we do a show. And it just becomes, but I feel you need to attach yourself to a parallel or like an adjacent society or community where you can at least get some of these people. Because again, we're so funny. It's just we don't have an outlet. No one made like a place.
Well, this is exactly what we were trying to do. We've had a couple of these little shows at a place here in Maidi, but it's not yet like a regular thing. هنشوف بقى.
And I'm seeing it here. It's becoming like, I mean, that's the same thing. People don't want to go far, so they stick to mics in the area, and it just becomes your own like little kiosk. Eventually, you start building. Okay, yes, this guy comes here and gets a pack every day, and شوية تعمل كده تبقى عندك حاجة في الكوميونتي يعني. I think really that's the lesson I learned from here, is just watching it. Changing location changes the entire everything. So It's not a bad like it's not a problem of the idea. A lot of times it's just a problem of the location and community. That's it. I don't want to take much of your time. I can talk to you forever, but I know you guys are important, busy people who have a live Q&A coming tomorrow on YouTube in Arabic. See, nice plug. See, شفتي?
Wallahi, Tislam. Yeah, that's our first time trying to do that. Maybe it was because of this that we thought of doing that? We were like, we never interact with like the audience, so we thought like maybe it's because you asked us to do this. We thought we should do stuff like this more and talk to people. So you might have, if you want to take credit for that, you can take credit for that.
I'll take credit for that. But I saw it and I was very happy because like that's also some of my shit sandwich. It's yes, be engaging more with the community. And I see a lot of discussions, like philosophical discussions on the Telegram stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe that's an episode where you get people from the audience and just like bring them on a Zoom meeting or something and just see what they have to say.
There's some like decently interesting people. I never have like that's like another thing you have to do, you know, go and like engage and read and see what's going on. It's just endless, man, as you know.
بس انتوا يعني the podcast is the end all ولا انتوا في حاجة تانية you guys are working on, or like do you have another project in mind?
We should have other things that we're working on.
This is a lot of work. I'm not trying to put pressure or to shame you.
No, but we've been talking about this.
We should have other things
ever.
We're working on.
There's like many other things we want to do which have not come to fruition. I don't know if you want us to list off all our ambitions that haven't happened, but yeah, we want to do other stuff. But for now, it's just the podcast. Yeah, but hopefully films and like documentaries, and we're gonna anyway. There's even weirder stuff, but I'll leave it at that.
And I love what you guys are doing. I feel ان انتوا already have made this possible to these types of conversations. And a lot of times I send people one of your episodes. Just like, here, it's in Arabic. It says what I want to say, and we don't talk about it. Like, this is not an open discussion because all of these things were in a way taboo. And I'm lucky that my algorithm brought you guys to me, and I can't say that I have any other similar shows to say like, oh yeah, it's a movement and they're one of the people. But in my mind, you guys are the movement. Like, you guys are the people who had made this possible, made all of these people come, introduced me to a lot of talent and perspectives in Egypt that I was fascinated to find. So
thank you so much. You're so
sweet. Thank you. That means a lot.
So you guys are so hard on yourselves, and you guys are doing great work, and keep up the great work. And you're lovely humans. I've met both of you now personally, and I love both of you. So.
We love you too. Thank you so much for
yeah, man. Thank you. I just if I come to LA, I hope you have a couch that I can crash on when I'm trying to like do an open mic.
You can. By the time you come to LA, I'll give you a room in my mansion.
Yeah, no, but for real, man, thanks. You're like, appreciate it, and like your feedback is always interesting, and it's cool, man, that you discovered our humble little project, and yeah.
لقد وقعت في الفخ بتاعكم. It's a great فخ.
أهلا بيك.
Yeah, أهلا بيك, man. And if you come to Egypt and you get that green card, man, you got to come on. We'll have you on the show. You can talk about your experience.
Yeah, I'd love to.